Never in its 250-year history has Purnon ever had a bathroom with a shower in it, but that is all about to change. Our challenge? Turn this dark and dingy 18th century valet's room into the Château's first ensuite with a shower. With no previous plumbing or electricity, a comprehensive plumbing and electrical plan needed to be created for the entire eastern wing of the Château with our heritage architect. Then the work started. The 18th century tomettes lifted, cleaned, and tons of rubble removed from under the floor. Of all our days here, I don't think I've ever been as tired and filthy as I am today. Unwelcome challenges arose, requiring adjustments to our layout. Then, finally, the work commenced on the complex plumbing. So this bathroom has a long way to go. Our plan here is that we have one enormous shower tray, full-length shower tray. It's going to have travertine on the walls. It will have its original 18th century terracotta tomettes put back down on the floor, and it will have a lovely Louis XVI console with a marble basin. With the floor up and the plumbing in, we sought approval on our finishings from our heritage architect and the Government Heritage Authority. With our decisions approved, our stonemasons set to work rendering the walls to create a flat surface. After 2.5 years' work, this is what things looked like 6 months ago. Last week, the beautiful travertine tiles went up. We set to work finishing the painting. And to find the perfect piece of furniture for our vanity, we took an early morning road trip to an antiques fair in search of an 18th century chest of drawers. And got sidetracked. Very, very sidetracked. This window was the only source of light for the maid who lived in this room, and this is an original 18th century feature of the room, and so we will definitely keep it. The Château has its first bathroom with a shower. This is such a monumental milestone for us. In its 250-year history, the Château has never had a bathroom with a shower in it. But this is now the third ensuite that we have here on the first floor of the Château that has made use of a maid's or a valet's room. So we've managed to retain the original 18th century floor plan of the Château and make these spaces that were really important spaces in the 18th century for maids and valets into important spaces for comfortable living now in the 21st century. These small rooms, when we arrived, were all in a terrible condition. They'd become rooms for storage. Of course, they were no longer being used. So they were jam-packed with things. The plaster was falling down and spiders had taken over. They were full of cobwebs and the doors had been closed and no one had really thought about them. Using them for storage was actually quite a practical use of them. But that has all changed and these spaces are now becoming incredibly beautiful. The two other en-suites that we already completed in maids' rooms had wallpaper, and so we needed to retain the wallpaper, which prevented us from having a shower. Those en-suites are absolutely beautiful in a very different way to this en-suite. They're lovely because they have wallpaper and they feel very historic, whereas this room is so practical but so incredibly beautiful. But this room would not have been possible without the incredible support of our partners. We worked very closely with our friends at Riluxa, who we also worked with for Purnon's first shower and another en-suite here on the first floor. And they have supplied this incredible aged brass tapware. Now, what I love about this tapware is the quality is incredible, but also because we've used this brand in the shower and in another ensuite, it has a nice harmony between these bathrooms. And the same with the Carrara marble countertop basin. So this is sitting on an 18th century chest of drawers. The tapware in the shower in an aged brass finish, exactly the same as the tapware we've used here on the basin. The incredible large shower head, this beautiful glass shower screen, the custom-made shower tray which extends the entire length of the room, and all the wall-hanging toilet appliances, and also our soap dispenser, which is over here because I had a shower last night to test it out. These are all from Riluxa, and all the product description and links are in the description below. Our friends at Corston, who again we have been working with for a long time here on the first floor and using their switches, sockets and lighting. And again, I think that creates a really lovely harmony up here on the first floor. But let's talk about these beautiful lights, which are such a feature of this room. So these are the Claremont hanging wall light. They are in a hand-blown fluted glass, and the beautiful Brookflied pendant light, they just complement each other so beautifully. They are in an aged brass finish, exactly the same as our PowerPoints, switches, and also the cord concealer that we use for the towel rail. The towel rail arrived yesterday thanks to our friends at Hudson Reed. I was having a terrible time trying to find a towel rail that fitted into this space. It's quite narrow. And what I really love about this towel rail is that it has a Wi-Fi thermostat, so I can manage the temperature in this room via the app. And last but of course not least, our dear friends at Farrow Ball, the paint that we used here is a estate eggshell finish, which is a high gloss finish, so perfect for this wet area. The name of this color is London Stone, and I think the color just sits so beautifully with this travertine. What a bathroom. It is just truly so stunning, everything to the highest quality. It's been 5 years now since we arrived here at the Château, and this has been something that has been on the cards really from very early on. There was a year basically of planning all the water and electricity for this eastern wing, and then 3 years of work, because it wasn't just about getting electricity and plumbing into a room that had never had those services before. It was about setting it up for this entire wing and also provisioning for future works on the second floor. So in earlier footage, you would have noticed that there was a large channel buried into this wall where the shower now is, that was provisioning for the eastern wing of the second floor when we finally get up there in years to come. But really a result that we are so thrilled about. And every day the Château gets just a little more comfortable. This eastern wing is now completely watertight with the restoration works of the roof and the facades finished, and now it has plumbing and electricity. These things that seem so normal and standard, but here are incredibly complex.
Well, what a transformation that bathroom has been. And when you look at how the space was when we arrived and how it was when we found it and how it looks now, really it's just such an incredible transformation of a space that really shows how life at the Château has also been transformed, because when the Château was first constructed at the end of the 18th century, rich aristocratic families had valets, maids, they had servants living right next to them so that they could help them before they went to bed at night and first thing in the morning when they got up. Now, of course, nobody lives like that anymore today, and so transforming these spaces into places that work for us, showers, bathrooms, lavatories, basins, etc., it just reflects the way in which the Château itself is evolving to meet the needs of 21st century living, even though it was designed way back in the 18th century.
Yeah, it's so true. And whilst work has been progressing on the inside, things on the exterior have been moving at a great pace as well. And in fact, next week is going to be quite a bittersweet moment for us, because these stairs are going to be demounted tomorrow, which is part of the restoration of Purnon's bridge. And the reason it's bittersweet is because not only do we come to you every week from the stairs here, but actually we personally spend a lot of time here. Lots of our problems are discussed here. We have an apéro at the end of the day sometimes here, and also this bridge is where that beautiful photo was taken for us that was featured on the cover of the Good Weekend magazine in Australia when we first started the project here. So a big step for us in the restoration of the bridge and the Château.
Yeah, but they won't be disappearing forever. Just to reassure you, they'll be demounted so that it can be restored.
Yeah,
and it will be a wonderful moment.
Yeah, and the other incredible thing that's happening this week is that the canopy is going to be removed off the western side of the roof. This is a huge step in the completion of the restoration of Purnon's roof. So a big week ahead.
It is going to be a wonderful week, and this week on our exclusive Patreon and YouTube members video, we're going to share with you an intriguing connection that was discovered between the collection at the Frick in New York and our collection of portraits here at Château de Purnon,
which we had the privilege of visiting on our recent trip to the States last week, where we did 2 events to promote our book Château Reawakening. And thank you to everyone who joined us, because it was really wonderful to meet so many of you. But as always, if you would like to follow the restoration of Château de Purnon more closely, we post frequent updates on Instagram. We post an exclusive weekly video for our YouTube and Patreon members. Otherwise, just hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and we'll keep you updated here.